Okay. So I'm just trying to get this camera in the right posie. I think that's fine. I think you can see it there. Okay, so what we're going to make, I've decided, is a little mug rug. I have Pounce padded this design on with the Pounce pad and a design called, it's from Anne Bright. It doesn't have the name of it on there. It's only got the code from Full Line Stencils. That's the design sort of there, if you can just see it. So I can see that Colleen, look, I can only see comments every now and then because the camera is so far close. Did you use that Pounce pad? Yeah, I did, Pat. Yep, absolutely. So I thought I'll make a mug rug. Might be a bit big, but you know, who cares? So I've got the fabric and I've got a little bit of wadding underneath. So I've still got the same thread in as I had before, which is one of the gems, still threaded, amazingly. I'm just gonna follow this. Now this foot doesn't bounce, which is great for this product, because when it bounces, that's when it tends to get rid of the the chalk. So I'm just having a look at where I'm going to start, and I might start over here, and you can see I'm going to end up touching it and it's going to come off because it's such a small piece. So if you hear me cursing, that's what it is. Hi Stella, how you going? So needle down, need to just put the foot down a little bit high. Actually, I need to just adjust that just over to there. So I'm over there, needle down. It's going to be a bit rough, but anyway. Okay, so I'm going to just follow these lines. And I don't mind if some of the design or the lines go away. So today's a bit of a wobble. Excuse me, because once the lines are gone, you know, you're not going to see if I've made a mistake anyway. So I'm just going to go in here and around, come back. That one a bit of a curl. And then back over here. And you can see it does. It does pounce away. But I've still got the shadow of where it is. And that's all I need. So we're going to come up this way. Down here. And you can see I've got to use the tips of my fingers now, which I don't like doing because that causes tension. But yeah. Hi Kerry, what's the foot called, please? It's a free motion foot, but this one, the Janome one, it's an open toe, and it's yeah, it's got no bounce. Do you have to start in the middle and work your way down? No, I can start at the edge like I did, and I had a bit of a tension issue, but that's all right. I could start in any place I like, really. If I wanted to start, I could start there. So I'm purposely doing it in a colour you can see, and I think I just boogered that one up. I'm not sure. I'm going to go back over there because I think I buggered that one up. But anyway, so I'm just going to go around these petals. And I mean, you can do these mug rugs are really quick and easy. They're not hard, and there's no hand sewing, and I love that. And you can use these designs that you got in your Pounce pads to do them, because a lot of those Pounce pads have designs in them that are, you know, 5 inches or whatever, so it makes them quite easy to use for one of these. Alright, stop right there. I'm going to turn it around. I'm just going to push that down a little. There we go. Okay, so yeah, this one's just one. It's an open toe, but it doesn't bounce. It's got the screw there at the side. You can screw it up and down. I really like it because it doesn't bounce. It's just something I prefer personally. But, you know, there's nothing wrong with the bouncy ones, what I call a pogo stick. It's just they tap off the actual chalk, and makes it a little bit difficult for me when I'm trying to quilt if I'm using a design like this. So, I mean, you can also do this with an embroidery machine, but I find by the time I've set up a hoop and everything, I could have had it already done. And you can see it doesn't take too long to do one. And once you've done one corner, you know, you sort of get used to where you got to go. Or even 2 corners, and all of a sudden the design doesn't seem so ominous, and you get better as you go along. So even I have that problem. Sometimes I get a little lost, but like I did before, just make it up. Don't stress over it. It's no biggie. So I've asked the people at Craft Alive how I'm going to get that file to everyone who has enrolled in the classes. They've also, so they're going to let me know. Oops-a-days. And the other thing too is, they've also said if you've had trouble downloading any today, because there's been internet issues across the country, which has not helped at all, then you just go to the archives. It'll be on there tomorrow. And you can then download them from there and watch them again there. Alrighty, so that's done. So that was easy, wasn't it? That's Pounce pads. Okay, so what's being said? I've missed something. What's it say? I have always been afraid to touch my tension to do this sort of quilting. I'm afraid I will never get the tension right again. Okay, so your tension for your free motion quilting needs to be, yes, it was easy for you. So the tension needs to be around about 5.5, 6, somewhere there. The reason why it needs to be tighter is because of the pulling and pushing you're doing. And if you don't have it tighter, you're going to have tension issues. The other thing is, I love these gloves. Look at that. I just wiped all the chalk away with the glove. The other thing too is that your standard tension on your machine, like it'll say auto on some machines, but it should be around about the 4 mark, number 4. So if you ever get lost, and if you've got like it's all computerized, you just turn your machine off and back on, it'll go back to its standard settings. If you adjust it manually, like I do up here, and I just make sure that I put it back to 4 when I'm finished. The biggest thing of fear I find most people have is that, what do they call it, changing the bobbin tension. And I do that all the time. I love doing that. So what I might do is I might just free motion in here and just fill up that area, that negative space in there, and then it's ready to go to the next step. So I'll start here, and I'm going to do a really tiny, oops daisy, got a book stuck, a really tiny little stipple. And you can see that my hands are in one place. I'm moving my fingers very gently and very slowly, not really doing much movement at all. Lots of tiny little stitches. There's not a chance in Hades you're going to unpick this doodah. So when you're doing a mug rug like this, you would do the top first. You don't sort of put it all together and then quilt it. So you do it first like this. Oops, a daisy. Not. And I'm just going to fill that up. Doing the micro quilting like this does take a lot longer. If I had done a larger pattern, it would have been filled up by now, but what I find is if I did a larger one, it would just sort of blend into the other and you wouldn't see the flowers. So doing it this way keeps the flowers as a main feature and doesn't make them disappear. So you can see I'm working my way across the bottom corner. Oops, I'm going to shred the thread in a minute because I'm going so fast, and I just went straight up the side of that. Did you see that? I did it really quickly. Straight up the side of that petal, and went to my next point that I needed to get to. So instead of cutting off before, I could have just continued on and gone to the next step and not even bothered with, I'm going to fill that in, not even bothered with cutting off. Oops, there it goes. So it's a bit of a shred. It's because I'm going so fast. Just finally fed it through. And I'll just cut that off. Sorry guys, my hand's in the way. That little booger there is going to come off. Just got to get my scissors, that's all. That's off. So what have we got here? Yes, it was easy for you. Pat, that's good. I'll hope to try mine now. Yep, good. Good, yeah, because the gloves do make it a lot easier. I'm just going to put the needle down. I'm just going to slow the machine down a fraction just to stop it from shredding so much. It might work, it might not. So I'm holding it on, I'm using the base of my hand, not my fingers. My fingers aren't even really touching, they're just resting. And I'm maneuvering with my fingers on the other side, but it's very small little movements. If you watch my fingers, they're just small little tiny movements. So this will be the last video, not that I've done many today because I've been busy with orders and stuff, but this will be the last video for today, and I'm planning on doing a couple more. I wanted to do one with a bit of thread work, you know, just stitching over the top of one of my panels just to show you what I do, but I thought at this time of night, if I start something like that, I'm going to be very annoyed with myself when I don't finish it. So I thought that's something I could do tomorrow. There we go. I think the other reason why it's shredding is because I've got that really fine needle in there still. I've got like a size 70 in there, which is not really ideal. So I'm just going to try and... So it'll probably keep doing this to me throughout. because of that fine. You can see it's a fine needle. It bends really easy. So it's designed for really fine fabrics, not cotton with wadding. Just letting you know, that's what it's doing. And it's going to probably keep doing it. Whoopsie daisy, straight into the flower. I'll just colour it in. So it's a fraction slow still. There we go. So even though this looks white, this is a really pale blue. So I'm just going down one side at the moment because I want to fill in that point. There it goes. I might change that needle, I reckon. It's driving me nuts. All right. Let me find the other ones. Can't have that happening all the time. That'll drive me to berserk. Where have we got in here? Right, I think it's in this side. Oh, yeah. That's the ones I want. So I'll just swap this out. Oh, wrong one. I'll do that. I'll do my foot for no reason. And because it's a really fine needle, they bend easy. Like you can see, they see how it bends really, really easy. So whereas these ones won't do that. I'm hoping so. I've never tried to bend them like that before. And I don't really want to bend it. You can see how much thicker it is. Yeah, there's no bend in that at all. So this should stop it from shredding. Hence the reason why I love, oh, I'm doing it the hard way, my size 16 needles. I'll get that in. Come on, little thread. You can do it. I got that in, yep. Alright, just do the cut off, put the needle in the right position, down she goes. So it's got a larger eye, it's got a longer eye, and it's a thicker needle. Huge difference. So let's see what she does. She behaves nicely, or if it's just me. Could be just me. Got a little fluff ball there. I'll have to trim that off with my little trimmer, won't I? I'm just going way too fast for this thread. It does not like this at all. And see, what I've got here is, even though it looks like a really nice little pattern, it's a lot of knots. They're lots of knots because they're so close together. The stitches are so close together. It's like a whole heap of little knots. So then the thread's going to go, yeah, I'm not really keen on this knotty thing you're doing, because you're making me sort of gather up on myself, which creates bulk and makes it shred. See those little knots? They'll actually come out with that little electric thread ripper, what do they call it? Yeah, thread ripper, the ripper. Believe it or not, they do come out, those knots with that, without actually taking the whole thread out. Oh, there it goes. Got a lot further though. I don't know what's going on there. That's not. Listen, thread. Come on, play nice. Can I have a burr somewhere too? Knowing me and this machine, the amount of hard time I've given this machine, it wouldn't surprise me if it had a burr in it. Alright, let's try again. See, it's not just me or you guys who does that sort of thing and has threads break. I do it too. So when I do this sort of thing too, I get my face is right up close to the machine because I need to see all exactly where that needle's going to go. You know, and in saying that, look, if I do crossover, which I have done a couple of times here, it doesn't really matter. You know, no big deal. Who cares? It's only a mud rug, and it's, you know, not like you're presenting it to the Queen or anything. But you could make yourself a whole little set of these, or they're a great little gift to someone. Then they know they've been handmade, and they'll use them and wash them and use them and wash them until they can't use it anymore. You can see that little bit of thread there. It's going to irritate me. I can see it. So yeah, and I'll get my little ripper out, and that'll clean up those. Yeah, so, you know, I've got some that I've had for years that probably need throwing out, so this will just go into the mix, and when I sit somewhere and go somewhere, I take them with me sometimes, and sometimes I use them and sometimes I don't, but you know what, when I need one, there's always one there, because some lovely person made me one. And I always love things that are handmade. Cherish them much more, much more than things that are bought, store-bought. I'm presuming you guys would be the same. Nearly there. So other than the thread breaking on me, because it's just being naughty, I wouldn't cut off at all for this project until I've finished the whole centerpiece. And in saying this, you know, you don't have to do all this detail in the center. You could just do the design that it's on your Pounce pad. I mean, I've got so many designs on the Pounce pads, you know, you do one with a different design each. Oh, there it goes again. One with a different design, one for each, you know. So, yeah, this machine's not happy with me at the moment because I'm being nasty to it. I can't see any comments, so I'm just going to yap away, but when I stop sewing this, I'll have a look at some comments. Oops, a daisy. I'll get this finished soon. I've got to change the foot. You could also have cross-hatched, done a really small cross-hatch. You can do one with a different design in each centre, you know, or same design, different colour, and do a multicoloured pack, or, you know, they don't take very long. You can, especially if you don't do all this in the centre of them. You can paint them. Why not? Alrighty, done and dusted. So that is the top. How cool is that? What's this? That's gorgeous. I'm going to have to give this a go. Yeah, absolutely. What else is there? All Facebook lives are a mirror, aren't they? It doesn't. Okay, I can't quite because it's showing the back of the phone photo. Shows in reverse. Okay, yeah. This is so cool. Yeah, I want to see if I can try and switch it around. Let me switch it around. Come on. There we go. All right, let's. Is it gonna do it? Yeah. Okay. So let me just take the phone out. Oh my gosh. Hey. Let's go around here. Put it back on the thingy. All right. I haven't. Oops, days. Oops. Don't know what happened there. There we go. And yeah. Okay. So there you go. So she's done. Hi, Judy. Just looking at the comments. It's great in the blue and white. Yeah. It's gorgeous. I'm going to have to give it a go. Absolutely. So this now is ready to go to the next step. So I haven't actually measured it or anything, but I'm just going to go and take it over here and cut it back and cut the backing as well. So the backing is just another piece of blue. Okay, so I'm just going to go and cut them the exact same size, and I'm thinking maybe 6 inches each square. All right, so I had to get the man feeds so a little late. That's okay, that's all right. So bear with me, you're just going to see the base of my machine while I cut these back. And I didn't iron my fabric because I'm lazy. So I'm just going to cut them back. I'm just measuring it as well. So it looks like it's a 5.5 inch design or 5-inch design. So I'm going to cut it at 6 inches. So I go to, let me turn this around, sorry. I'm just talking to you while I'm doing it, so you don't think I'm ignoring you. So there, and there. So once I've cut them 6 inches, which allows me a bit of a seam. Then I'll come back to the machine. But bear with me for a second. And I will be there shortly. So I'm just making it reasonably square, as close as I want to get to it. So now I have it done. All right, back. What's that? Lovely, thanks to a Margaret. Yeah, blue square with embroidery. Yep. That I just free motion, Judy. So So I'm going to put the backing on the front of it. So I'm just going to turn, and it would be right sides together, okay? I'm also going to take this foot off and I'm going to put my walking foot on because I'm going through so many layers. Oh, and I've got no room now because I've got a camera there. There we go. All right. And my fat hand in the way, sorry. All right, let me get this on. This takes a few seconds just to get myself organised. There we go. I just hate it if that screw comes out because it drives me nuts if it comes out. It's so hard to get back in. You feel like a fumble fingers. Oops, there we go. That's good enough. We're on. Feed dogs back up so I can actually stitch. And I'm going to leave an opening of about that. So it's about, oh, well, where are we? About 2.5 inches, yeah? So all I'm going to do, you know those chalk pencils I use? Well, this is the insert of one of those. So I'm just marking there so I know where I'm going to go. That's just one of the refills. All right, you can pin it if you like. You don't have to, but if you're not 100% sure on your skills, then pin it. So foot down. Actually, that doesn't look like they're in. There we go. Foot down, needle down, needle up, needle down. And then go backwards. I'm just going to let it feed up to the corner. And just go back a bit because I think I went too far. Pick it up and turn it. Now, I'm using the foot as a guide for 1/4 inch. That's not how my mum would put it in. Cannot quite see the foot, Michelle. Okay, oh, sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. Didn't realise I'd moved that. Can you see that? It looks like the camera's just... Hang on. Let me just tighten that up. Come on, machine. There we go. Don't move. Okay. So I think if we just tilt that way, you'll see. So I did a forward and back stitch there. Now I'm using walking foot because there's so many layers. Stop start button because you know how much I hate using a foot. I might just go one more stitch. There we go. Just make sure those little things are down properly. So as you can see, I haven't ironed the fabric. It's just my lazy gene. I don't really iron anything until I have to. So I'm going to go all the way around those 4 edges, except for that 2.5 inches. So next there, oh, maybe one more stitch. There we go. Across here. And when I get to that yellow line, I'm going to reverse. And then I'll cut off. I'm going to get rid of that little hairy bit because if I don't, it's going to get in my way later. All right, so I've got that like that. I'm also going to trim off my little corners. So I'm going to try and do this under the camera. So here, just take off your little corners, okay? Little dog ears. Just put that under there so you can see. Hopefully you can see this. It's a bit hard without the camera, with the camera being back to front. 3 and 4. Okay, so just take those, oops a days. Then we're going to turn it the right way around. So I'm going to just do that. And if you have your purple thing there that you purchased, this is when you can use that. I can't find mine, so I'm going to end up using scissors. This seam would re-engage the what? This seam would rearrange the something, I can't see it, AccuFeed thingy again, re-engaged. Yes, you would. Yes, so you would re-engage. Yes, sorry, I'm just trying to, yeah. What size stitch did I use? I used a 2.4. No, it's a 1.8, sorry. It's actually a 1.8. So it's a small seam, because I'm going to put a bit of pressure on those in a minute. So I'm actually just using my fingers to push out those corners. They're not too hard. Hi Liz, how you going? Say hello to everyone. If you've missed the start, you can rewind these videos if you've missed the start. So normally at this point, I would probably press that, but being as lazy as I am, I'm actually going to not do that. So I've folded in the seam. So you can see here, the seam, it's open. I've turned it around the right way. I'm just going to move that camera back there. And I folded it in so that it's like that. I'll just get that like that, and I've flattened it out. So I want that seam to be under at the back, like that. Okay. I'm actually going to now put the stitch length up. I'm going to be stitching at about 1/8 of an inch. Just going to put it up to number 4. All right, and it's 1/8 of an inch from the edge, so I want to catch that seam. I am doing a knot, or did a forward and back. And I'm going to slow it down because I just want a bit more control. Wait, I said slower. And because I've got that big booger needle in there, it can go through all these layers and not have an argument. If I had that really, oh, that was a bit wobbly. If I had that really, really fine needle, it would have snapped by now, because there's too many layers, and with the pulling and shoving, it would have literally just had too much pressure on it and would have just bent. To center that bit of that design on here, all I did was I went 1/2 inch from this edge out and then cut, turned it 1/2 inch out from that one, because I know that this is 5 inches. And I did that all the way around, and I got a 6-inch piece. And I didn't change my stitch length, stitch back. It seems to be okay, so I'm not going to play with it now. My tension. So, sort of got to that point. I'm going to trim off those little bits. I don't want to make a mess. I want a big hairy knot under there. And I stop there. I'm going to do a knot off, 1, 2, forward and back, and then cut off. And there's my mug rug. How cool is that? So there's the knot, trim that off, and she's done. How cool is that? That is awesome. So I'll bring that back, and you can see my mug rug. Nice, hey? I can sip my coffee on it, just like that. There we go. See? And when I give it an iron, it'll sit down flat. Cool. I have a mug rug. Good, huh? So, let me just play with this phone again. I'll just take it out of the holder. And I'm going to turn it around, rotate. You can turn your phone while live. Okay, gonna rotate. Yeah, that's cool. Yep, thanks, Pat. Yep, thanks, Judy. Julie, great idea. Thank you, Gidget. So there it is. That's your little mug rug. And you did it yourself. And the thing is, you can use a variegated thread as well on a black or, you know, even on the blue. Why not? Use some of your variegated threads. I'm just going to, sorry, I'm just going to put the phone down. Too nice to use. Just going to put the phone down. Sorry, guys. And put it in that little holder. I hope I'm not pressing buttons. Yeah, I am. Yeah, so for some reason or other it wants to rotate. Like, it shouldn't be rotating around. Oh, there we go. I just didn't have it screwed in properly. Oops, today's moving the phone. Oh. Stop pressing buttons. Good Lord, woman. There we go. Right, now you can see it. There. See? But wouldn't that be gorgeous in a quilt? Like, wouldn't that be really nice in a bag? Each block was a different design or is same pattern but a different thing in the middle, or variegated and you just had blocks of them around, or one of that and then one with the micro stippling and then one of that. And yeah, they're full of great ideas. So that is, hi Leanne, how you going? That is the mug rug, no hand stitching. I haven't even ironed it. And done with a Pounce pad. Bit of blue thread. It's very light blue, looks almost white. And all done. Easy peasy. So, yeah, no hand stitching. You mean the bag and that? Yeah, you could quite easily do that. It'd be nice with the sashiko. The sashiko. So the sashiko could be really good, because if you've got a sashiko and then you've got those, because they sort of do that, they look that Japanesey sort of thing. So I am going to try and find out how I can get that design to Craft Alive and how they can put it up on their thing and make sure that the people who pay for the classes gets it and not everyone else. That's all right, Gidget, no worries. Happy to help show you something new. I'll find something different to do tomorrow and we'll go from there. But yeah, so I'll talk to you soon. I'm still packing the orders. I got a long way through, but you saw my room. I actually have cleaned it a little, but now there's stuff on the floor. So it's not looking good. It's going to be a long weekend of cleaning and videoing. I will talk to you all soon, and I'll see you tomorrow. So if you want to find these gloves, they are on the website and you can order them there, or you can message me and I can pop them in the post to you that way. Talk to you soon.